Ready to hire the best without the bias or stress? Welcome to Test Gorilla. Hi, I'm Liz. Congratulations on choosing Test Gorilla, the best way to find and hire top talent bias-free. Welcome to your new account. Our screening tools are easy to use and designed to completely reinvent the way you hire. I'll be giving you a quick tour so you can get started straight away. In this video, we're going to create an assessment, invite candidates, and then analyze the results. Now let's jump in. Before we create an assessment, let's create our team. Here, you can add as many users as you want. You can also assign them different roles, such as hiring manager or recruiter. Make sure to add your own logo and company colors using the My Company panel. That way, each assessment will have your company's own unique look and feel. This helps boost your brand awareness, as candidates will see your branding right away. Now, let's make our first assessment. Click on Create New Assessment to see our 4 simple steps. The first step is to give your assessment a name. In step 2, you'll select tests from our test library. In step 3, you'll personalize it with your own custom questions. And the 4th step is the final review. Here, you'll also find some more advanced features. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go back and take a closer look at step 1. Now imagine we're hiring a technical project manager. We'll just name the assessment Tech Project Manager 1. By filling in the job role as Technical Project Manager, we'll get relevant tests recommended to us in the next step. And this will make choosing tests a lot easier. And that's step 1. Step 2 is probably the most important one. Here we'll add tests to our assessment. Let's look at our recommendations: attention to detail, Excel, leadership and people, business ethics, etc. So which one should we choose? Well, researchers taught us that multi-measure tests are the best predictors of job success. That means combining different types of tests into one assessment. Studies show this method has a 5 times higher chance of predicting job success compared to old methods. Like, for instance, just using CVs. So with that in mind, let's get back to adding our tests. Once you find a test you like, add it to your assessment by clicking Add. We recommend including at least 4 tests in each assessment. Clicking on Details lets you see which skill areas are covered, who the test is relevant for, and a description of what's being measured in each test. You can also preview some sample questions. You may see our Test Gorilla logo here, but when you invite your candidates, they'll see your logo and company color. We have loads of different test types in our library. You can easily filter them here. Of all the different test types, cognitive ability tests have been proven to be the best predictors of job success. So we recommend always including at least 1 or 2 of these in each assessment. In this case, I want to add these 2 cognitive ability tests: attention to detail and problem solving. Also, a situational judgment test. Leadership and people management. A role-specific test, of course. Software engineer. And we always suggest putting in a culture add test as well. This test will make sure a candidate gets with your company culture in addition to having the right job skills. Otherwise, they may be the wrong fit for your team, and that can be a real headache. Finding the right fit, though, leads to less stress and turnover in your company, which means higher productivity overall. With this test, you'll rank the most important values and behaviours for the specific job role on a scale of 1 to 5. Candidates select the values and behaviours that describe them best. At the end, a score is calculated to show the match between the candidate and your company. The average scores from all the tests in Step 2 streamline your hiring process by using a much more effective, data-driven approach, avoiding bias. Now let's move on to Step 3, where we'll add custom questions. These help you to get to know your candidates better by testing things like motivation and actual work samples. Let's quickly look at the different question types you can use. First, we have essay questions. Here you could ask your candidates to respond to a typical customer email, for example. Need to test specific knowledge or get their opinion on a topic? Then multiple choice questions are the way to go. Video questions are a great way to get a first impression of a candidate. A few video questions could even completely replace your screening interviews. And your entire hiring team can watch and rewatch the answers anytime they need. File upload questions are great for when you need to ask for a portfolio, a CV, or even a take-home assignment. And last but not least, we have coding questions. There are many different coding tests in the test library, but you may want to add your own coding challenges as well. The great thing about our coding tests is that everything is recorded. So on the results page, you get to learn everything about your candidate's coding style and speed. Every custom question you create gets saved in your personal library, so there's no need to create the same question twice. Okay, we're almost done making our assessment. All that's left to do now is review everything, and that's step 4. Here we have an overview of the tests you've included. You can also see the total duration of your assessment. You'll want your candidates to have a positive experience, so try to keep it around 1 hour. If coding challenges are included, it's totally fine if the assessment takes a bit longer. Motivated candidates will really appreciate getting a chance to shine while taking your assessment. Plus, not having to write a cover letter or CV saves them a ton of time. Now let's look back at our 4 advanced options. Qualifying questions are shown to candidates before the assessments start. They help you filter out candidates that don't meet your minimum requirements. Examples of questions you could ask are, do you have a bachelor's degree? Or, are you okay working remotely? This saves you time and money, as you'll only pay for assessing candidates that meet your minimum requirements. A welcome video can make a big difference. A personal or branded video will help impress, engage, and motivate your candidates. Candidates will most likely take your assessments remotely. Of course, you'll want to know that the screening process is fair. And that's where our anti-cheating measures come in. One of these measures is to take a snapshot of a candidate every 30 seconds while they take their assessment. Of course, we make them fully aware of this and ask for their permission beforehand. Like you, we think that every candidate should have an equal chance to shine. Therefore, we offer extended time limits for non-native English speakers and people with disabilities. All right, our assessment is now complete. All that's left to do is click Finish. Now let's start inviting candidates. There are 3 ways to invite your candidates to an assessment: with a public link, an email, or by integrating Test Gorilla into your ATS. Emails can be sent one by one or quickly in bulk. And using a public link is even easier. Just copy and paste the link directly into your job listing or anywhere else. Now candidates can head straight to your assessment as the first step of the application process, rather than emailing you. This saves you a ton of time and gives every candidate an equal chance. Anyone who wants to apply can just click the link. That leads them straight to your branded invitation page. After filling in their email address, they'll automatically receive your customized invitation email. Make sure to write an engaging welcome message to motivate your candidates to complete the assessment. After a candidate completes the assessment link in your email, they'll be taken to your qualifying questions. So that means without having to do anything, your first contact with candidates will be on the results page. And that brings us to the last part, evaluating candidates. On the results page, your candidates will be ranked according to their average test scores. This allows you to quickly focus on your top candidates. When you click on a candidate's name, you'll see their full results. First, we can view their different test scores. You can even break the test scores down into different skill areas to see where they might need training. To get a better understanding of how your candidate performed on a test, you can compare their scores against other groups of candidates from our database. You can change the scoring benchmark based on educational level, background, and level of experience. On the right, you can use our anti-cheating monitor to make sure your candidates played by the rules. For example, if they had their mouse in the assessment window the whole time, or if their full screen mode was active. Below are the custom questions. This is where you come in. You and your team can rate each question and leave comments. After you've rated these questions, you'll have two sets of data to compare: automated test scores and your personal evaluations. This gives you plenty of data to quickly shortlist your candidates. Once you have your list, you can then invite candidates for the next step of the recruitment process. Results can be downloaded as a PDF document. This makes it super easy to share them with your management team to prepare for an interview. Want to get to know your top candidates really well? Send them one of our free personality and culture tests. For instance, the 16 types, Enneagram, DISC, or Big 5 tests. Our reports can provide a ton of insight, like their motivations, strengths, weaknesses, and tips for working with their personality type. We'll even suggest interview questions based on their personality, making the next stage of your hiring process even easier. Now you've gotten a glimpse at all the ways Test Gorilla can completely reinvent the way you hire. So put those stacks of resumes and CVs to the side for now and take a look at our extensive test library. Thanks for joining me, Test Gorilla. Hire the best, no bias, no stress.